on Superstars. The Heart Foundation is loved in Canada, but not deep in the heart of Texas. The Heartbreak Kid is back, and he's wearing his heart on his sleeve.
Shawn Michaels wants to see Bret Hart get the hell out of here.
Move over, Shawn. Wait till you see the WWF's latest heartthrob. Oh, mercy. Dude love and more coming up on Sunday Morning Superstars. Welcome to Sunday Morning Superstars. I'm the man behind the microphone, Todd Pettengill. We've got tons to cover this morning, so let's get right to the action from Shotgun Saturday Night.
And two of the more underrated yet extremely talented athletes in the WWF about to go one-on-one. There's Flash Funk, and his opponent is Leif Cassidy, James E.
Well, I don't know who's been underrating Flash Funk, but I think a lot of people have taken Leif Cassidy for granted. I know a lot about Leif Cassidy, more than I'm going to reveal tonight, but I may tell it in the next few weeks. But I guarantee you this, he's as good as they come, and he can show it, and I think he may just do that tonight.
Good shoulder block by Flash Funk on Cassidy. Expect a high-flying matchup here. Both these guys can strike suddenly with their offensive weaponry.
But at the same time, they're not all high flyers. That's not their entire offensive repertoire. Leif Cassidy is as good as they come on the mat, and he does know a thing or two about submissions. I think he may even be able to teach Ken Shamrock a thing or two about submissions.
Well, I'll tell you something. Cassidy has had a lot of experience training athletes. Dan Severn, for one, in the Ultimate Fighting Championship. So Cassidy has a great background as far as teaching pro wrestling and the submission style. Of course, we know that Flash Funk started his career in the Japanese dojo, learning a lot of submission moves, a lot of mat wrestling as well. So both these guys along the way have paid their dues.
Well, the Japanese style is very offensive-oriented and very submission-oriented. And look at Flash now. He's going to the air, but then he goes to a nice, whoa, hurricanrana.
Leif Cassidy now with the advantage on Flash Funk. This has been a tremendous matchup. Downstairs goes Flash. The backslide. 1, 2, and a near fall.
Wow, Flash out of nowhere had him hooked up, but Cassidy comes back and drops Flash down back on the back of his head. That came out of nowhere, JR.
Well, I'll tell you what, both these guys are so underrated. Both are so talented and so evenly matched in this contest. And the hurricanrana, no way! Into the sunset flip. 1, 2, 3, got it. This crowd loving it. Flash Funk has just defeated Leif Cassidy in a match, quite frankly, that could have gone either way.
You got that right, JR, because Leif Cassidy gave it everything he had, so did Flash Funk. These guys both just about knocked each other out, but you can see on the replay, Cassidy goes for the powerbomb. Flash's momentum sends him behind Cassidy, sunset flip on the 1, 2, 3.
And Leif can't believe it.
The King and his court jester give Scott Putski the royal treatment. And now, it's time for action. The Stridex Triple Action. Featuring 3 times the excitement from your favorite WWF superstars.
From the top, here we go. Ivan Putski setting up the King. Off the rope. Boom! The Polish hammer is not enough. 1, 2, 3.
That was this week's Stridex Triple Action. Triple clean your skin with Stridex medicated pads. After being taunted for weeks by Big Mouth Jerry the King Lawler and his too sexy sidekick, Ivan Putski came out of retirement. Polish Power teamed up with his son Scott and delivered the hammer.
Setting up the King. Off the rope. Boom! The Polish hammer is not enough. 1, 2, Polish Power indeed.
Last night on Shotgun Saturday Night, Scott Putski returned to single competition.
Got a foul on Nick Golden, and Putski, the son of Ivan Putski, dominating Golden here, James E.
Well, he brought Golden right down on the back of his head, and Golden looks like he's on Weird Street, doesn't exactly know where he is. but has the presence of mind to reverse Putski. Came in a little bit too close and didn't keep his eyes open.
You know, James, I just got back from the wrestle vessel.
Yeah, how was Captain Stubing?
He and Goldberg were fine. Julie's still in rehab, but that's another issue. Bottom line is, Stone Cold Steve Austin says if he doesn't win the Intercontinental title, he has no problem keeping his word and kissing Owen Hart's derriere. And now Putski going up top. Scott Putski going to take a chance. And there's a big splash. Putski's got 1, 2, and the shoulder comes up.
Just barely. Derriere, is that anything like buttocks?
Well, yeah, somewhere in that vicinity.
The Polish hammer.
And I think that should be enough. The leg is hooked. And the Polish hammer puts Golden down, and Scott Putski wins again here on Shotgun Saturday night.
Wait a minute. Brian Christopher and Jerry Lawler. I knew they weren't going to let that decision stand from Raw is War.
It must be father and son night on Shotgun.
Now, wait a minute. You don't have any proof that Brian Christopher is Lawler's
Everybody
son?
knows that. What are you waiting on Lawler to tell you? He hadn't told the truth since Jackie Fargo was in his 30s.
Well, you haven't told the truth since the Eisenhower administration.
No, look out! A chair shot right to the face.
I'm going to say this, when Lawler talks, I'll listen, and I believe what he says. And if he says that Brian Christopher's not his son, then I was going to say that he was going to join Taka Michinoku and Brian Christopher and the great Sasuke in the list of great light heavyweights. But I think he's now going to join a good group life insurance plan.
Wait a minute, that steel chair right over Putski's face.
This don't look good.
What is of young Scott Putski and the Lawler family? Double teaming Putski.
Young Scott Putski doesn't look like he's going to get old, does he?
Nothing like a nice father and son outing. How can the people of Memphis be proud of those two?
They're very proud.
What's wrong with the people of Tennessee to worship Jerry Lawler and that punk kid of his?
Claim their attack on LOD was payback for the doomsday that broke Henry's neck. As the incidents between the Godwinns and the Legion escalate, there's no telling what will happen in 2 weeks' time on Sunday, August 3rd, when they face each other at SummerSlam. Last night, Henry and Phineas were back in action against Double J and Bob Holly, but they had LOD on their minds.
Thank you for being with us. I'm Jim Ross alongside James E. Cornette. We are at ringside here. And a powerful front face lock applied by Phineas Godwinn. And Phineas, in addition to his surly new attitude, is also showing some signs, James E., of learning actually a few wrestling holds.
Well, you see, wait a minute, Henry Godwinn draws the referee, and Double J makes it to the corner for the tag, but referee Timmy White was distracted and didn't see it, and there goes Double J.
Double J going over the top rope back to the floor. The referee's not going to allow the tag because he didn't see it. And in the meantime, Jesse James is just beheaded by a powerful clothesline by Henry Godwinn.
You know, that just brings up what I was going to say, the Godwinn's new attitude, their new winning percentage, their new effectiveness in the ring. It all goes back to the managership, the leadership of Hillbilly Jim. Hillbilly Jim constantly trying to make them happy, trying to make them dance for the folks, trying to make them just real jolly fellows and not concentrating on what they could do in the ring. And I think now that Hillbilly Jim has been vacant for the past couple of months, the Godwinns have really poured it on and they've come on strong.
Jesse James buying himself a little time here in this tag team matchup.
I heard there's hate between Jim and the Godwinns, as a matter of fact, over the Godwinns' new and aggressive attitude.
I have also heard that, and I think we could probably say there's something to that rumor because we haven't seen Hillbilly Jim with the Godwinns in quite some time. There's tags made on both sides now. It's Phineas and Bob Holly, the two legal men in this matchup.
Holly's a fresh man, and he better make the most of it. He's got to put a spurt on, because if he doesn't, if he lets the Godwinns take back over, then his goose could be cooked.
No doubt that the Godwinns and the Legion of Doom have got to be considered two of the top tag teams in the WWF as far as top contenders are concerned for Dude Love and Stone Cold's tag title. There's a cover, and the lateral press got two. And you talk about Dude Love, you got to think about SummerSlam.
What kind of personality? Wait a minute, Hurricane Rana. What? He's got him.
There's a cover, and Henry Godwinn interrupts the count, brings in Jesse James.
Well, this thing's breaking loose. I'm just wondering what kind of personality Dude Love is going to show up with, maybe
And Henry Godwinn now. Uh-oh, Henry behind the referee's back with a slop drop. And I don't care who you are, that's going to be enough. Bob Holly with a great opportunity where he and Jesse James to upset the Godwinns. Didn't happen here tonight on Shotgun Saturday night.
I believe Holly had him. You can see by going back to the replay that Holly did have him in the roll-up, even though he didn't get the leverage just like he wanted it. He had him squat when all of a sudden Henry came in with the slop drop. The back of the head, boom, knocked Holly slap dab out.
Still to come. Steve Austin isn't looking for love, but he may have found it. Plus, Hitman and his soldiers search for some real American competition.
So bring on any 3 Americans you got.
Up next, WWF Superstars is being brought to you this morning by Baby Ruth from Nestle. This baby gets you going. And by the WWF Magazine. Pick up a copy now for your $1 million chance entry form. Available at newsstands everywhere. The stipulations introduced by the Hart Foundation last week are shaping SummerSlam into a milestone event. However, last night on Shotgun Saturday Night, Bret Hart had something more immediate on his mind. A Raw match that combines the athletics of the World Wrestling Federation with a countryman's spirit.
Notwithstanding that your brother and your brother-in-law are champions at least until SummerSlam, you're not, or at least until SummerSlam when you face The Undertaker.
You know, it's kind of a difficult situation because I know that everybody really, really would love it if I didn't win the championship belt and somehow I never came back down to this godforsaken country again.
Now, wait a minute. Again, let's get this straight. And perhaps you heard what Shawn Michaels had to say. He had to be there. Everybody has to be there because everyone's going to hold you to your word. If you don't become the WWF champion at SummerSlam, you never again, ever wrestle on U.S. soil again. How can you possibly make such an outlandish statement like that? You're wrestling The Undertaker.
I'll just say there's one thing I do. I live up to my promises. And if I can't defeat The Undertaker by hook or by crook, if somehow I should falter, I will never, ever wrestle in the USA again.
All right, now, you asked for this time for a special challenge for this Monday on Raw. What is that?
Well, you can tell the scenery's changed. You know, last week I got treated like a king. I got treated with respect. Did you ever notice that the United States of America is shaped like a toilet? And right here in San Antonio, Texas, I got the welcome that I expected. But next week, things are just a little bit different. We're going back to the country where the women are prettier and the beer tastes better. Where we don't hate each other's guts. We're going back to Canada where they respect family value. They respect people that stick to the word and tell the truth. So I'm going to make a challenge when I get back up to Canada next week on Monday Night Raw. Owen, the British Bulldog, and myself issue a challenge to any 3 Americans to what we call a flag match. And we'll put a flag up. We'll put the good old USA flag up, and we'll put the great Canadian flag, the red and white, and whoever can rip the flag down at the end of it, well, they can have the glory. But I know one thing, the Hart Foundation, we will never, ever let down the Canadian fans. So bring on any 3 Americans you got, and we'll just see what happens next week on Monday Night Raw.
The flag match is on.
Thanks for watching Sunday Morning Superstars. I'm Todd Pettengill, the man behind the microphone. We'll see you tomorrow night when Raw is War.